Hey guys, it's Drew again. We all talk about how great this community is, and I have got a story to share with you today about how a bunch of different people all came together to help me find a card that I've been looking for a long, long time. So let's check it out. So if you watched my video last week, I talked about that I have 3 different cards on my want list, and only 3 cards. So let's go over those again in case you didn't see it or if you forgot. Number 1 was the 1949 Leaf, Joe Gordon. Number 2, 1888 Scraps, any card, Scraps Tobacco from that set. And the last one was the 1952 Coke Tips, Pee Wee Reese. So I was able to find one of these and scratch it off the list. Which one? Well, I was able to finally find and secure my 1952 Coke Tips, Pee Wee Reese. Now I'm going to talk about this card and this set a little bit if you're unfamiliar with it. This is actually a pretty scarce set. There's not a whole lot of these out there. In fact, I never even heard of this until last year at the Nationals, walking with my friend Dom from Staven Sports Card, and he pointed it out. And I thought, oh, it's kind of cool. Well, then the more I looked into it, the more I thought, I got to find this thing. Well, then I found out these are not up for auction like ever. In fact, since 2020, there's only been about 5 or 6 public sales of any of this card in any grade. And I was kind of surprised, and really the hunt became really intense at that point. So about the set, came out in 1952. It was only in the New York area. There was a couple of tests, one that had Phil Rizzuto and one that had Willie Mays on it. But the actual set has 10 cards in the set, 1 for each player, so 9 in the positions, plus a batter. Only 9 different players are represented, though. Bobby Thompson is represented both as the batter and the third baseman. And of course, 1952, right after the shot heard around the world, he was super popular. There's only 2 Hall of Famers that are in the set at all, Pee Wee Reese being one for the shortstop, and the other one he's joined by his fellow Brooklyn Dodger, first baseman, Gil Hodges. Other than that, they're just other players. Now, it's a beautiful set. It's a drawn image of the player playing their position with an advertisement. It's got the schedule down below of the team for that year, whatever team they played for. Oh, and also, all the teams represented are only the 3 New York teams. And then on the back, and this is why it's called Coke Tips, it's because a tip of how to play something. So it shows a tip on how to be a better shortstop, and it's got some other little interesting things on there, and then this beautiful Coca-Cola sign down below. It was put in a 4-count container of glass Coke bottles and just distributed that way. So not a lot of them, I guess, survived. Not a lot of them survived in great condition. And there's just not a lot out there. Maybe they're just not super popular because guys like Mantle or Mays are not in the actual set. I don't really know. But I'm a Pee Wee Reese guy, so I had to have this card. Well, the thing about this and why this is so exciting to me is not because I got a card or I finally found one that was scarce. It was the way it all went around. Remember, I was at the National with a friend, not from YouTube, and he pointed it out to me. I did some research and started talking to other people about these cards, guys like Sammy Thunder, who knew a little bit about them. He told me about them. I started getting guys and asking, look, can you guys keep your eyes out for these things? Because I was looking online and I couldn't find anything. I had guys up in the Northeast looking, guys like Dan from Vintage Baseball PC. Sammy Thunder was looking. Orlando down in Florida was looking. George Diamond Nerd Sports Card, he was out west looking. I had guys in the Midwest all keeping their eyes out if they could come across one. Every once in a while I would get a text or comment saying, hey, Drew, I've been looking, but I can't come across one. But they kept looking, and I really appreciate that. Finally, on a Saturday morning, I get a text from Sammy Thunder, Mr. Hobby Hero himself, and says, Drew, guess what? There's one up for auction in Heritage. So I jumped on that thing. And I waited. It took 3 weeks, and that was a long 3 weeks waiting to see. But I was finally able to get it. I was the high bidder, and I won the card. But not only did I win the card, I won it while I was on a StreamYard with 5 other guys, all within this community, all rooting me on. This was not a live stream. It wasn't broadcast. It was just friends being there, rooting on another friend to get a card that they knew that I really wanted that badly. It was just so much fun. I had guys reaching out. In fact, I had a few people, which I really appreciate, saying, hey, look, if I could buy something from you or I'll put an order in for something if you make it for me and then I can give you an advance on it if you need more money. I really, really appreciate that. That meant a lot to me that guys were willing to do that. I did have enough in my budget, not much much left, but I did able to afford it on my own. And man, I appreciate that. And since then, as the word has gotten out, this is not really a huge secret. The congratulations, the nice cars, the great job, the people that were happy for me, they just keep flooding in. I know I'm going to get lots of comments in this video about it because to me, this is what it's all about. It's about the community who came together to find something for me. They don't know me outside of this and what I portray on the screen. I've met a lot of them, but I don't really hang out with very many of them. But you know what? Everyone's really excited, and that's what it's about. It's not about getting the card. It's about seeing the excitement from someone you care about get a card. And while I may be the only one on YouTube that really, really wants this, I don't know. I know as excited as I am, other people are just as excited for me. So I appreciate the love in this community. Guys, if you watch these videos, if you just want to learn about baseball cards and stuff, get involved in this community. You may not be comfortable making videos. That's fine. If you don't want to show your face, be a hand model. You can just edit something and show a couple cards with text on it. Let me know if you're going to put out a video or start a new channel. Get involved. If you're like, you know what, my collection isn't that great, I got news for you. My collection is nowhere near the greatest collection on YouTube. And you know what? Yours will be better than somebody else's out there. It's not about comparison. It's not about, ooh, he's got this and this. It's not about trying to, keep up with the Joneses and having the best and the biggest. It's just about sharing with other people, like-minded people who all care about people as people and what they like, which is cardboard. And that's so fun to me. If you don't want to make a video, leave comments. Leave comments for guys and get your name out there that way. And when I start seeing comments over and over again, reach out to me if you want via email. In fact, I had a commenter. It actually doesn't comment, but he just watches my videos comment. And he reached out to me via email a couple of weeks ago. Turns out he doesn't even live that far away from me. And you know what? How cool is that? I can sort of grow this community without even knowing, just through YouTube. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. I get that way when I'm tired, but tonight I'm not tired. I'm excited. I'm excited because I finally got a card that I'm so happy to have in my collection, to add it to my collection. And I'm absolutely thrilled to have this. So guys like Sammy and Jake and Dom and Will and Jared and on and on and on. So many people. For those of you who were rooting for me and checking up on me, I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate the love that you showed me. I'm so glad to have this card. And I can't wait to find out what you picked up so I can be cheering for you, because I'm just as excited when you get that excited. Anyway, that's enough for tonight's ramble. I appreciate you guys coming along as always. And until next time, you guys be good.